Hey, what's going on? It's Kyle Henderson of BamaInsider.com on the YouTube live chat. Breaking news as Amari Kight has committed to Alabama. The 2019 class for Alabama continues to roll. I've added a call-in number if you want to call in on the show, 205-686-3604. Kyle Henderson here at BamaInsider.com. Big time commit. I'm going to play right now, Chad Simmons breaking down Amari Kight. Big time pickup for Alabama, and let's get it going. Here is Amari Kight and some highlights of him. He's an offensive tackle, 6'6", 300 pounds, big time pickup. What's up? Thanks for joining us, everybody. Here's some clips real quick of Amari Kight, and then we'll get into it a little bit, and then we'll start to talk about the class of 2019. But big pickup today for the Crimson Tide. Amari Kight, yeah, as mentioned, 6'6", 300-pound lineman out of Maline, Alabama. Here we go. So here's Amari Kight.
It was my first time getting a chance to see 2019 Rivals 100 offensive tackle Amari Kight out of Thompson, Alabama, live in a game setting, and he really was impressive. He's a kid that, more than anything, just showed me a lot of natural athleticism. He obviously can still work on the fundamentals of being a top offensive lineman, but you see the way he moves, whether it be in pass sets and running with those athletic, quicker defensive ends, or playing physical and opening holes in the run game. You know, I'd like to see him sustain his blocks and hold them a little bit longer, but, you know, he's playing against, you know, arguably one of the top teams in Alabama and Hoover. He was on the road. They're big up front. They're strong. They're very fundamentally sound, and he definitely was one of the stars in this game. And, you know, he showed a good balance of, you know, knocking guys off the ball in the run game to moving his feet and sliding and running guys outside in the passing game as well. But what stood out to me more than anything, a guy his size that can move the way he did, light on his feet, good length, I think a surefire tackle on the next level, continue to get bigger and stronger as far as strength goes, but he has so many things to like and played very well against a talented Hoover team.
All right, that was Chad Simmons of Rivals.com breaking down the latest commitment to Alabama's class of 2019. If you're just joining us, my name is Kyle Henderson. I added a call-in number. If you want to call in, we could talk about Amari Kight, Alabama's newest commit. We could talk about the NFL draft. There's a lot to talk about this weekend as we move into the month of May already. 205-686-3604. Hit me up. And I want to hear from you today. Get some dialogue going on the BamaInsider.com YouTube live chat. If you're just joining us again, 6'6", 300-pound Amari Kight out of Maline, Alabama, has committed to the Crimson Tide. I'll bring up his profile here. Let me get it for you real quick so you guys can see who we're talking about. And big time get for Alabama. You know, these offensive tackles, even though Alabama does have plenty of offensive tackles right now, especially with Jedrick Wills and Alex Leatherwood. Let's see, transition this out right quick. Make sure it's lined up for you. This is a little bit more on Kight. So as you can see, 6'6", 300 pounds. He's currently a Rivals.com 4-star, and he showed up and he showed out at the recent Rivals Camp Series in Atlanta. He will likely be attending the Rivals 5-star challenge later on in the month of June, but it's a big pickup for Alabama. And as you can see, the Crimson Tide. Now let me line this up for you guys so you guys can see what I'm talking about regarding the class of 2019. It's really starting to come together for the Crimson Tide. I mean, I think you know, Talia Tagovailoa really headlines his class along with Paul Tyson, two big quarterbacks for the class of 2019. And as you know, Alabama didn't take any quarterbacks from the class of 2018. So to see them picking up two quarterbacks early on, especially big-time gets like Bear Bryant's great-grandson and Paul Tyson out of Trussellville, and Talia Tagovailoa, Tua's younger brother. Those are big-time gets to really get this class of 2019 going. And currently, Rivals has the team ranking of number 5, but I think that's going to go up probably to two or three with Amari Kight landing on board. Other guys from 2019 as you can see, that Alabama has locked up. Tanner Bowles, he's a 3-star out of Kentucky, 6'5", 270 pounds. As mentioned, Talia Tongo-Vailoa out of Alabaster, Alabama, 6 foot, 190-pound dual threat quarterback. Shane Lee out of Baltimore. Alabama continues to really have a nice pipeline into that Baltimore area. Christian Williams out of Daphne, Alabama, 6'1", 175 pounds, 4-star. Paul Tyson, Trussville quarterback. Rashad Cheney. And down at the bottom, Pierce Quick. Pierce Quick actually committed to Alabama way back on A-Day of 2017. And he's really been a huge advocate for Alabama in terms of getting guys on board to the Crimson Tide and really, being a huge proponent for these guys to get something going, the class of 2019. And I think, as you can see, it's really starting to come together. Let's bring up your guys' chat. Again, my name is Kyle Henderson of BamaInsider.com. 205-686-3604 if you want to call in. As you know, Alabama also had a very impressive showing in the NFL draft, sending 12 guys, 12 guys, if you can believe that, to the league. And let's bring up a recent story that I had on BamaInsider.com today, and that was just rehashing the draft and some pretty interesting stuff. And this is what I was interested in. Guys that are going to be linking up for Alabama at the next level, right? So the Miami Dolphins, as you know, took Minkah Fitzpatrick, but he's going to be linking up with Kenyon Drake. Washington, somebody dubbed it. It wasn't me. I wish I would have said this, but the Washington Crimson Tide. As you know, they picked up Deron Payne, who I think is going to be an absolute stud on Sundays. They also pulled in Sean Dion Hamilton, which I think was a great get. And as you know, they picked up Brian Anderson and Jonathan Allen in last year's draft. Tennessee Titans landed Rashaan Evans, a big-time get. You know, Rashaan is a grown man at the linebacker position, got great nose for the football. He'll be hooking up with former running back Derrick Henry. The Atlanta Falcons picked up Calvin Ridley, and that was another first-round grab for the Falcons. And the last time they had a receiver from Alabama in the first round worked out pretty well for them, right? As they picked up Julio Jones. Look at the roster of Jacksonville, really lit up with guys from Alabama. I don't think you guys can see that full screen right there. Maybe that would be better. Ronnie Harrison went in the 3rd round. I think he's really going to be a sleeper for Alabama at the next level for Jacksonville. 6'3", 210. Minkah Fitzpatrick was very high on Ronnie Harrison, and he left after his junior season as well. I think he was overshadowed a lot by Minkah Fitzpatrick in Alabama's secondary overall, but I think Ronnie Harrison certainly going to do big things at the next level. And the Detroit Lions, A'Shawn Robinson, along with Deshaun Hand, who they picked up, and the Baltimore Ravens, another team that loves to dig into Tuscaloosa, landing Anthony Averett, Bradley Bozeman. Last year they scooped up Marlon Humphrey, Tim Williams, C.J. Mosley. And then the Green Bay Packers picked up punter J.K. Scott and HaHa Clinton Dix a couple years ago. So a lot of guys linking up together in the league from Alabama. But I'm going to play Chad Simmons highlights real quick of Amari Kight, committed to Alabama. Let me line up this screen a little bit better for you guys so you guys can see it. And then we'll get you guys out. Amari Kight, 6'6", 300-pound offensive tackle out of Alabama, has committed to the Crimson Tide. And these are these highlights, and this is the breakdown by Chad Simmons of Rivals.com.
It was my first time getting a chance to see 2019 Rivals 100 offensive tackle Amari Kight out of Thompson, Alabama, live in a game setting, and he really was impressive. He's a kid that, more than anything, just showed me a lot of natural athleticism. He obviously can still work on the fundamentals of being a top offensive lineman, but you see the way he moves, whether it be in pass sets and running with those athletic, quicker defensive ends, or playing physical and opening holes in the run game. I'd like to see him sustain his blocks and hold them a little bit longer. But, he's playing against, arguably one of the top teams in Alabama and Hoover. He was on the road. They're big up front. They're strong. They're very fundamentally sound, and he definitely was one of the stars in this game. And, he showed a good balance of, knocking guys off the ball in the run game to moving his feet and sliding and running guys outside in the passing game as well. But what stood out to me more than anything, a guy his size that can move the way he did, light on his feet, good length, I think a surefire tackle on the next level, can continue to get bigger and stronger as far as strength goes. But he has so many things to like and played very well against a talented Hoover team.
That was Chad Simmons of Rivals.com. My name is Kyle Henderson of BamaInsider.com, all part of the Rivals.com network. If you want to call in the show before I kick it out, 205-686-3604. If you don't hit me up now, you guys can hit me up another time. I'm going to try to have some call-ins where you guys can call in and we can have some dialogue back and forth and talk Alabama football, especially during the slow time of the summer months. But this is a big-time get for Alabama, picking up a 6'6" offensive tackle. As we inch towards the month of May, Alabama's putting together a stellar 2019 class, coming off the NFL draft where they sent 12 guys to the league. I mean, it's just ridiculous what Alabama continues to do year in and year out under Nick Saban, and these guys are men. I mean, I think you're right. Thanks for the comments recently. I think you're right. Georgia's really building something special in Athens, and it's certainly not going to be the last time that we saw Alabama and Georgia slam head-to-head, and I think those two are getting ready to have a couple monster showdowns in the next couple years. Kirby Smart really doing something big, and a couple guys, off the board for Georgia recently, but Georgia returns a great group, and they have a quarterback coming back who's very talented, as we know. He's a young guy. Played against actually Tua Tagovailoa at the Elite 11 a couple times. So that's a interesting storyline as we continue to track those two quarterbacks. 205-686-3604. My name is Kyle Henderson. If you have anything you want to call into the show and talk about Jeff Brewer, by the way, Tua will be back for fall camp. As you know, he hurt his left. It's right under his index finger. No need to be worried, though. He will be back. And we'll continue to track the quarterback position at Alabama to see if Jalen Hurts sticks around or if he bounces out. I think he's gonna stay, and I don't think he's gonna give up that starting position that easy to Tua. I think a lot of people want to just see Tua right in the driver's seat. These were Jalen's numbers from the spring game just a couple weeks ago. Jalen Hurts, 19-37, 1 interception, 195 yards, and Mac Jones, the redshirt freshman, 23-35, 1 interception, 289 yards and 2 touchdowns, going against the number 2 defense. I think a lot of people have oversight in that regard. Remember, Jalen's going against Alabama's number 1 defense. Not to say that Jalen Hurts, that was a reason for, going 19-37 on the day, but not a lot of quarterbacks in college football are going to have success against Alabama's defense, regardless of who they are. Roll Tide Matt 92, what's up? I think the recruiting class is going to come up. You guys are going to have to battle Georgia again, but right now I'll bring up the screen where you guys stand and in terms of the commitment list for Alabama, because let's see, let me bring this up for you guys real quick so you guys can see what I'm talking about. The class of 2019 is packed, it's loaded. Currently ranked number 5, but it hasn't up. Actually, look, breaking news, as Alabama is now. Let's see if I can frame that a little bit better for you guys. Give me 1 second. Alabama is now the number 2 team overall in the Rivals.com rankings, which is very impressive for this time of year. My goodness, Alabama's number 2, as you can see up at the top right here, number 2 team in the country. With Amari Kight landing on board. I'm actually going to tweet this out real quick because that's big time stuff. If you got there's a call-in number that I have up on the show, and if you guys want to have some dialogue and go back and forth, feel free to hit me up. As you can see, Alabama with the number 2 class overall. The number to call in, 205-686-3604. Get your line. Get some dialogue with me. Let's talk some Alabama football on this beautiful Sunday. I'm in Tuscaloosa. Went for a walk around the park today. It was absolutely wonderful on Sunday. Now some even better news as Alabama lands Amari Kight. I'm going to tweet this out, so give me 1 second. I'm still here. I'm just typing. Still here, just typing. Can't do two things at once. Alabama now with the number 2 class in the Rivals.com team rankings. All right, sick. That's a big. Those are some big time pickups for Alabama. I mean, Amari Kight's a big boy, and you got to get the big men up front. Eager to see who will jump on board next for Alabama. If you're just joining us, my name is Kyle Henderson of BamaInsider.com. This is the YouTube live chat. We have these features every once in a while and try to have some more guests on the show. I want to bring on Andrew Bone and our team writer Tony Soukalis, who can provide some more expertise. And you guys can always call into the show. The number is 205-686-3604. Anybody wants to hit me up. And you're right, Roll Tide Matt. He will be back in a few more weeks, just like you said. I think he's going to be perfectly fine. And I'm glad that they didn't play him for the spring game. There's no need to. There's no need to risk further injury at this point. I mean, he's proven what he can do. Everybody knows that Tua is a big-time prospect and that he's going to do his thing. That class that Alabama has of all those sophomores, I mean, it's going to be phenomenal just to see these kids grow up. Let me bring you the roster real quick. I got this huge roster sheet. They give these out to us, the media. Look at these sophomores, right? Christopher Allen, Jerry Jeudy, Devontae Smith, Henry Ruggs, Tua Tagovailoa, Najee Harris, Brian Robinson Jr., Dylan Moses. I mean, these are going to be names that we're calling out in the NFL here pretty soon, right? Let's see who else is a sophomore on this list that's making waves. Even Thomas Fletcher, he's a long snapper. Nobody talks about him, but he does his thing weekly for Alabama. Other sophomores on the squad that are Alex Leatherwood, Jedrick Wills. Let's see if there's any more. LeBrian Ray, Major Tennyson is a tight end. I mean, that sophomore class is straight ridiculous, straight fire. Thanks for joining us on the program. This is the YouTube live chat on BamaInsider.com. Right, Roll Tide. It's pretty impressive, that class that they have coming up in the pipes. And a lot of those guys played last year. I wrote an article last year. At one point, they had played, I believe, 17 freshmen. And that's what's interesting when Alabama is recruiting against all these other powerhouses. These powerhouses continue to say, you're not going to play at Alabama. There's no shot that you can play as early on at Alabama. You're going to have to wait. And Nick Saban brought up a good point last year. He said, hey, we're playing some of the most freshmen in the country. This was last year. Now, obviously, that class is very talented. But if you can contribute, if you can play, you take care of business, you're going to see time at Bryant-Denny Stadium. And that was apparent last year. I mean, and look what Nick Saban did in the national championship game. He wasn't afraid to change things up. And that's what won Alabama the national championship game. So we're coming to you right now from Tuscaloosa, Alabama on this beautiful Sunday evening. If you're just joining us, Alabama has landed Amari Kight, the number and now has a number 2 overall recruiting class in the Rivals.com team rankings. It's big news. I mean, it's a big class, big time get. Amari Kight is a 6'6", 300-pound offensive tackle. Tanner Bowles was before him out of Kentucky. He's a 3-star. Talia Tagovailoa, Tua's younger brother, was before that. Shane Lee, Christian Williams, Paul Tyson. And as I mentioned earlier, Alabama already has 2 quarterbacks from the class 2019, which is very exciting for Alabama football fans. Hey, Caleb, that's tight. Thanks for joining us, man. Julio Jones did talk about that in that Bama Cuts video. I was the one, I put that up because, he was right. If you come and you take care of your business, you're going to play at Alabama. That's just it. Let's see, what is Georgia ranked? So let me do this for you real quick. Chad, thanks for joining us, man. Thanks for being here. I'm going to pull up on this other screen that I'll show to you in just a second. This will be the complete rankings. Let's see. Give me 1 second. I'm going to switch this up. Okay, this is the Rivals.com class of 2019 rankings for where they stand right now. So this hasn't been updated because, see, Alabama's at number 5. Alabama's currently at number 2. So this is where the rankings are, and this page will be updated. It updates periodically on Rivals.com. So it looks like Oklahoma has 11 total commits. So what you want to do when you look at this chart right here, you can look at total commitments, but what you should look at is the 5 stars first, 4 stars, but really the average of the prospect that each team is getting. So you can see Georgia right now, they have 8 commits. They got a 4.1 star average, which is really good. And Alabama should be somewhere up there, which is getting Amari Kight. And like I said, that number will jump. Let's see what Georgia has and who's committed to Georgia. Because as you know, these two teams are headed for each other once again. So this is who Georgia has landed currently. They have that one 5-star down here at the bottom. Jaylen Hasselwood out of Georgia, 6'3", wide receiver. And then if we go back to the team rankings and go back to Alabama, so bring up in just a second. Florida State, I guess, having a nice little class, right? Be interesting to see if Willie Taggart can get something going and re-energize Florida State. I mean, I thought that was going to be the game of the year last year, and Alabama just kind of sliced them up down at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. So here in a second, this will update, and we'll be able to see Alabama's average ranking, which should be high because all these guys are 4 stars besides Tanner Bowles. All right. Thanks for joining us again. My name is Kyle Henderson of BamaInsider.com. I think Jimbo got out of Florida State while they're I mean, that was interesting how that went down with Jimbo bouncing out of Florida State. I mean, it seemed like they were just kind of stagnant. It didn't really seem Kight. It looks like Kight was playing left tackle in some of his film. Chris, thanks for joining us, by the way. Yeah, I think Jimbo got out. I mean, he's gonna battle. He's got a great setup. He's got guaranteed money at Texas A&M. I mean, have you guys been to College Station? I mean, nothing really to write home about, but I mean, the facilities are incredible, right? I mean, it's incredible. I mean, I would have. You get paid like that, I hope you take that job. You do a good job. Keep it up. Hey, Chad, thanks for the comments, man. I really appreciate it. And to everyone out there listening tonight, you can call in 205-686-3604. Hit me up. Get some dialogue going with you. My name is Kyle Henderson of BamaInsider.com. You can please subscribe to our YouTube channel, spread the word about our show, and also all our content is back on BamaInsider.com. I'm the managing editor, but we have Tony Sukalis, who does a great job on the team front, and then we have Andrew Bone, who takes care of all our recruiting information, and that's distributed on BamaInsider.com. So this is the YouTube channel right now, but everything is back on BamaInsider.com. And if you want to become a premium subscriber, there's a link in this video for a free 30 days. So you can try it out. And my email is kyle@BamaInsider.com if you have any account questions. Let's see. You know what, Chris? I'm not too sure on that, to be honest. I would check with Andrew Bone. But I would believe so. I mean, if nothing major has really transpired regarding Crouch, then I would assume they're still getting after him at linebacker. And I think one of the things that I'm really excited about with this new Alabama staff is the youth that these new assistant coaches have. Guys like Pete Golding, Jeff Banks, Josh Gaddis. If you follow those guys on Twitter, they're really doing a great job just really getting that excitement and really digging into the social realm where these recruits are. We all know that they live on Twitter, probably not so much Facebook anymore, but Instagram, Snapchat, and these younger coaches are really digging in. And I think it's really exciting to see what these young coaches are bringing to Alabama. Now, I went to every single practice during the springtime for Alabama, and their excitement really surpasses just their social media presence. For example, a guy like Josh Gaddis, really vocal, really good working with these younger wide receivers with the sophomores. I thought Mike Locksley obviously did a great job, but this is wonderful to see a young coach working with wide receivers like Jerry Jeudy, Devontae Smith, Henry Ruggs, Terrell Shavers. Excuse me. Those are all younger guys that are obviously meshing really well with Josh Gaddis from my opinion. And then at the inside linebacker position, younger guys as well. Mac Wilson, I know he'll be a junior, but him and Dylan Moses really seem to be vibing really well with Pete Golding, who I think is going to be a big-time coach here at Alabama, working hand-in-hand with Tosh Lupoi, who we all know is one of the best in the business. I'm going to read some more. What day and time are you on? What's up, Roland? Remember when what did I call you last? I butchered your name last time. My bad. I'm on, it's 6:45 here in Tuscaloosa. So, I mean, sun's still out. I'm about to, wrap up the show here in a little while. But, no, I'm in Tuscaloosa, man. I'm in Tuscaloosa. Went and saw The Avengers today. You guys check out that new Avengers flick. It was good. I have a 9-year-old son and took him out, spent some family time today. So it's a good flick. You guys check it out. And then Bone hit me up this afternoon and said, we're on a commitment watch for Amari Kight. So I got the live show fired up, and here we are. Pete Golding, he built a great D at University of Texas San Antonio. Yeah, and there was a first-round draft pick. You're right. I mean, he was working with Pete. I saw that too. Oh yeah, I called you Ronald. My bad. That was my bad. I apologize for that again. All right, Chad. Do you think Jaylen will transfer by the first game? I don't know. I mean, everybody. Anytime I go to the message board, it's like something new about Jalen Hurts, that he's leaving, this and that. I don't know. I would like to see him stay, fight for the position, see what he can do. It's clear that he's not going to play another position at Alabama. I think that's pretty apparent. He's going to play quarterback. If he doesn't start, then he's going to bounce out. I think he will play. I'm not sure if he's going to start anymore against Louisville. I have no idea what's going to happen. It's going to be exciting to track all summer long. I'm sure we'll just talk about that over and over and over. Great guy, though. Wonderful kid in the community. I just saw on social media today, him and Mac Wilson. This is Jalen Hurts and Mac Wilson today on Sunday, mentoring some kids in Tuscaloosa. I mean, it's so important. You know how important it is to have mentors in life. These two young men from Tuscaloosa, they could be doing anything on Sunday. There's no football to report to, but these guys are giving back to the community. So I love for those guys to be in the community and be giving back to the youth, because, as you know, that's so important. So Jalen, a very great guy off the field, and I hope things work out for him. 205-686-3604 if you want to hit me up on the show. Blake Sims 6.0. 6 foot. What do you think of Talia? 6 foot. I mean 6 foot, that's kind of like nobody's shine on those quarterbacks, right? I mean, Baker Mayfield, another 6 foot quarterback. But the thing that they really talked about with Baker Mayfield was the fact that he was so accurate. And same with Russell Wilson, from Seattle. I mean, I guess height isn't really a factor if you can be accurate, right? I mean, accuracy is the most important part of being a quarterback, that along with reading a progression. And that's something that I think we all know Jalen has to work on. And if you watch that last play of the game against Georgia, Tua looks downfield, looks off progression to the right, and then he sees Devontae and boom, lets it go. And that's what made everybody just realize really quickly, boom, that's the guy that we want at quarterback. And, Tua can spin it. Tua will grow some more. Talia will grow some more. I don't know. I mean, Tua is only 6'1". Yeah. I don't know if those guys are going to grow. They're not going to be 6'3". They're like, they're 6'1" max. But those guys can spin it, and they're competitors, and excited to see Talia and Paul Tyson as the next quarterback debate. Can you imagine what we're going to be talking about in the next couple years? The great grandson of Bear Bryant versus Tua. Who knows what Tua's going to do here at Alabama? Probably reel off another national championship. His younger brother, those guys going head to head. I mean, it's going to be fantastic stuff. I'm glad that, we have the website, so we're going to just continue to talk about that. It's going to be great to talk about. Thanks for joining us on the show tonight. About to wrap it up, but I wanted to say thank you very much for joining us again. Alabama has landed another commitment from the class of 2019 and 6'6", 300-pound Amari Kight out of Maline, Alabama. Big time class of 2019. Now the number 2 overall class in the Rivals.com team rankings. As I always end the show, be good people. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're in the military, we certainly are very appreciative of what you do for this great country. Next time on the show, write it down, 205-686-3604. Enjoy the rest of your evening with your family. I'll catch you soon on BamaInsider.com. From Tuscaloosa, Alabama, this is the Talk of Champions live stream on BamaInsider.com. See ya.